Hello there, this is Charles Ross. I'm the service hydrologist at the National Weather Service office in State College with a quick winter flood outlook issued today, Thursday, January 19th. We'll cover the period from today through February 2nd, so about a 2-week window here. So looking at this quick graphic, you can see the flood outlook for the next couple weeks is generally about average for this time of year, even though we have quite a wide range of indicators. I'll just go through these briefly and then we'll look at a couple items in detail. Recent precipitation has been average, although it's actually quite variable across the area. So if we look at this image from the National Weather Service enhanced data display page, you'll see that across the northern tier, with the rainfall and snowmelt we had last week, it was quite substantial. We actually saw some flooding up here in Warren and McKean counties from the snowmelt. However, as you shift south and across the southeast part of the basin, the last 7 days rainfall has been very light and well below average. So we've seen this pattern over the last couple months where the northern tier has been wetter than the southeast part of the state. Looking at our snowpack, it's well below average. Most of the area doesn't even have snow on the ground right now, quite unusual for this time in January. Water levels are average. Stream flows are flowing pretty close to average. Across the north, our northern counties where we saw the rains last week and the snow melt, water levels are above average, but they are receding right now. With the recent moisture and lack of snow on the ground, soil moisture conditions are pretty close to average, as is groundwater. Um, Now, forecast temperatures and precipitation are both going to be well above average for the next week and probably into 10 days. There is some indications that temperatures will be coming down as we head into February, but at least for the next week, a mild and wet pattern is expected. And with these two indicators, that's what's going to drive our flood potential. As I said here, the potential is close to average right now. Really, it's going to depend on how much rainfall we get and if we do get any excessive rainfall. So for the rest of this talk, we'll look at that. These are plume plots looking at the Jeffs ensemble model. And this plot here, this is looking for State College. Gives a plot for the next week of precipitation. Looking at individual models within the ensemble, you'll see a period of rain coming in tomorrow on Friday. Looks like a wet day for the State College area and for the region tomorrow. Not a flood risk, but generally quarter, maybe a little bit more than a quarter inch of rainfall expected. Looking ahead to this period here, this is from late Sunday into Wednesday. You'll see we have a quite unsettled period here with looks like about two, maybe three little waves of moisture that will be coming over the area. Looking at the totals, the ensembles are generally agreeing that somewhere around 1 to 2 inches of rain is expected out of this. Most of the ensembles are showing green here, which is cast as rainfall. There are a couple models that maybe put in a chance of snow, but looking at the overall pattern, we believe this is going to be a rainfall event for the region. Really, again, in the Monday through Wednesday period. And this is going to be our best chance of seeing stream rises. Not expecting flooding at this point, but it should be watched in case it turns out wetter than we believe it will be. Looking at the temperatures over this period here, you'll see just this huge warm up that we have coming over the area. It's going to be more like March weather than it's going to be late January weather here with temperatures this weekend rising into the 50s across the area, beginning to fall late in the period, but still well above average. Our average high State College is generally close to or even a little bit below freezing right now, so a very warm period setting up. And looking to the southeast, look at the plots for Lancaster. You'll see tomorrow's rain there, and then again pretty unsettled with a couple models quite wet, which would certainly lead to more rises on the area's rivers and streams. But for the most part, just kind of a wet period here coming up, and this area really needs the rain, so it may actually be more beneficial than flooding, but does bear watching. And finally, we'll look at the National Weather Service MMEFS page. This page piggybacks off the ensembles that I showed you on the last slide and uses the individual ensemble output to produce river forecasts for all of our river forecast points across the region. It's a pretty handy tool for trying to gauge what may be happening beyond several days here for rivers. So looking at this, we're going to look at the Jeffs model, the same model I showed you on the previous slide. If we zoom in here and we look at the plot for Harrisburg on the Susquehanna River, again, using the Jeffs output, you'll see um, the average, given the rainfall that we're expecting, you'll see that pretty good rises it could be expected next week. Next week, of several feet. It could even make a run at the action level at Harrisburg. And again, this is indicative across a lot of the rivers and streams across the southeast part of the state next week. You know, if the wettest plume actually ends up verifying, we could, according to the output here, it could certainly make a run at minor flooding. But from our experience using the this output, this is a very, very low chance at this point. More likely, we're going to see rises of just of a few feet, but certainly significant though for the Susquehanna River. So be ready for some rises next week on area rivers if this rainfall comes to fruition. So that's all I have today. Again, if you have any questions, certainly feel free to give me an email, charles.ross@noaa.gov. Have a good day. Take care. Bye bye.